Welcome back to the channel. Time to take a look at the latest aviation news updates. There's coverage on the A321 XLR, Airbus's up-and-coming narrowbody. Boom Supersonic has re-entered headlines with their overture, but not for the reasons you may imagine. There's also an expansion coming at WestJet and Air France, and a new aircraft order. All that is coming to your screens momentarily. Beginning though with the Airbus A321 XLR, which is the newest entry to the A320neo family, slated to enter into service in 2024. Well, it's begun its world tour. The 10-day world tour is slated to be hugely important to the overall certification process of the variant that's been highly inspected, but you could also argue anticipated, not just by the general public, but the carriers that have already ordered it in mass numbers. During the week of its launch, it welcomed in hundreds of new commitments. This tour, though, is labelled as route proving. That'll see the aircraft cover around 100 flight hours across a 10-day period. Airbus hopes this 10-day tour will mimic some of the missions on which airlines will deploy the aircraft once delivered, targeted at short and long-haul flights. The A321 XLR, which harbours the most range out of any variant in the A320neo family, is slated to really push the boundaries of single-aisle travel and open up new possibilities for airlines that buy into the program. However, to achieve the additional range on top of what is the already pre-existing A321LR, an additional fuel tank has been added. This being the centre of attention in an ongoing certification battle that has already delayed the entry into service date by a year. The lead flight test engineer for the A321 XLR's route proving exercise says that maintenance teams provided by Airbus will actually be located at each individual base that the aircraft passes through. Airbus will also work pretty closely with their airline customers with regards to fuel trucks, catering services, and water and waste trucks. All the things that you do need in your day-to-day operations and part of these essential route-proving flights. Either way, the A321 XLR will be present on multiple flights. These flights will take the aircraft from Toulouse to Toulouse, while a flight to nowhere, it'll be very far from that. The airliner is expected to fly near the North Pole, head towards Europe, and the second part of the operations/route proving tour will see the XLR venture to a US airport. Now, there are very much question marks over the A321 XLR within the aviation industry, and whether or not customers will prefer to fly on a single aisle for such an extended period. Although you'd have to imagine for the vast majority of people booking, they're not necessarily going to know that they're flying on an XLR, and that won't factor into their decision when booking. Therefore, it becomes a fantastic plane for airlines. Onto Boom Supersonic. They've announced the launch of a defense advisory group as they continue to work to launch their overture. The Defense Advisory Group aims to assess the potential usage of the upcoming overture for national security missions. A council full of what Boom describes as independent military and defense experts brings together substantial knowledge and experience to understand how to make the type work in different scenarios. Boom has revealed the board's founding members to help make plans of Boom Supersonic in the defense space a reality. It includes former commanders of the US Transportation Command, Air Combat Command, and the USAF Vice Chiefs of Staff. They have former commanders of the Air Force Air Mobility Command, and a whole lot more, including Electronic Systems Command, Program Executive Officers, Deputy Undersecretary of the Air Force International Affairs, and Strategy Plan Requirement Programs too. In July, Boom Supersonic announced that it would support Northrop Grumman on a NASA contract to find methods to deliver a high-speed endo-atmospheric commercial vehicle design study. Quite the mouthful. One of Boom's first priorities, though, you could say, is actually producing Overture and having that flying with customers, but at the same time, it'll face many roadblocks on this pathway. And equally, there are plenty of people that still doubt the program and business on a whole, whether they'll actually be able to manufacture an aircraft and ultimately deal with the many challenges and costs that will be incurred in making this program successful. It's ambitious, that is to say the least. However, with them breaking ground on their facility, announcing a host of strategic investments, they are slowly winning over more people, and I'd love to hear where you stand on it. As for them as a company, well, Boom does believe that Overture still has excellent potential, not just in the commercial space but also in the defense area, and is thus attempting to find ways to act on any potential interest that might be there. Its defense model is a key means to achieving those aspirations. WestJet and Air France have announced a substantial expansion of their cooperation and partnership beginning from September 25th. By the end of this month, at the time of publication, WestJet customers will see more than 53 European destinations be made easily accessible on a one-ticket journey from Paris. 31 additional cities in total will be added as part of the new expansion in a partnership between WestJet and Air France. These 31 cities are spread across a whopping 11 European countries too, with Chris Avery, who is the WestJet Vice President of Commercial Development, saying that they were more than thrilled to double their current destination offerings through the Air France codeshare, which not only significantly expands opportunities for Canadians, but allows them to really get into more gateways throughout Europe. Now, the partnership that I speak of between the two airlines has been a decade-long running one, and given the many successes already enjoyed, the pair believe millions more can benefit from more accessible travel between Canada and Europe. While extending this flight coordination is fantastic, WestJet has already expanded its service between Calgary and Paris, moving to it being year-round. This is very much a testament to the continued growth that they see on the route operated by their 787 Dreamliner. With the significant codeshare extension between the two, the Paris connection by WestJet will be even more essential as it is daily. This means Canadians can travel effortlessly to other European ports at any time of the year. On to the final topic of today, and that is an aircraft order. Airpeace of Nigeria has announced a firm order for 5 Embraer E175 aircraft as part of its future fleet plans. It is a deal that is also worth USD 200 million plus at list price value, with delivery slated to begin from 2024 onwards, only really extending the commitment to Embraer aircraft that Airpeace has made. Airpeace operates a fleet of around 30 aircraft, including the very new E195-E2, amongst many other aging aircraft types. The 737 MAX alongside the E195-E2 will be hugely important for long-term growth. That is indeed going to conclude today's aviation news recap. As always, if you have any thoughts on the topics covered, whether that be coverage on the Airbus A321 XLR World Tour, maybe some thoughts or opinions on Boom Supersonic and their overture, which continues to pose many questions, but some may believe could work in the defense space, you know where you can leave them, down below in the comments. Thank you so very much for your continued support here on the channel. Please do enjoy your weekend, take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time right here for more coverage on our industry.
And we'll fly.